What's going on, guys? The First Descendant is going into its final technical test. Yes, I have also been playing the First Descendant in the betas. Even if you haven't seen videos, I did have a video when they were first talking about it, but I didn't do any of the previous tests. So it says, greetings, Descendants. We would like to provide detailed information to check before the start of the final technical test, which is scheduled on May 25th, 2024 to May 26th, 2024. So we're just going to have Saturday and Sunday, this Saturday, as of recording this video, to take a look at them. So they have some release times. If you're going to be more on the East Coast, it's going to start at 3 o'clock Eastern. So you have some time to do whatever you want to do in the daytime before hunkering down for the rest of the evening. And then if you're on the other side, like London, it's going to start at 8 o'clock BST. In Sydney, it's going to be 17 AEST. The supported platforms is only going to be on Steam, but it's going to be free and open to everybody with downloads happening the day before, so you can be able to jump in there. For supported languages, the in-game languages are going to be Korean, English, Japanese, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, French, German, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Polish, and Russian. And for the languages, it's going to support Korean and English. All you have to do is go into the Steam page to download it the day before on May 24th at 12 o'clock at midnight. So midnight, you'll be able to download the game ahead of time. And then we have some technical requirements here with the CPU. It's all like the same. If you played it before, 16 gigs of RAM recommended, GeForce 2060 or RX 5600 XT recommended, but it works with the 1050 Ti and the RX 570. This is because it's an Unreal 5 game, and a lot of those things are made to be a little bit easier on the system, but the better gear you have, of course, the best quality you're going to get out of the game. There have been some technical issues that were fixed. The crashes have been reported on some Intel 13th and 14th generation CPUs. Some PCUs using these CPUs experienced a forced shutdown of the game with the error message out of video memory upon game launch. This can be partially resolved by setting power limits in the BIOS. This issue has been reported to Intel. So if that's something you don't want to mess with, which I understand, BIOS is a very serious thing. It can brick your computer if you don't know what you're doing. Don't touch it and don't play the game. If you're very comfortable and confident in your ability to deal through all this stuff, find a guide on YouTube somewhere that tells you how to set the power limits in your BIOS. The in-game support information during the test period, we will provide caliber and modules to support smooth testing and to allow you to experience newly added in-game store items. The detailed in-game support details will be provided in a separate notice. So we'll have more information on that later. What's going to be in the technical test for these 2 days is you're going to get 13 characters. There's going to be new content, 2 fields, and end-game support for the final technical test. So the 11 characters that we're going to get here is we're going to get Lepic, Ajax, Viessa, Jaber, Sharon, Glay, Blair, Bunny, Freyna, Valby, and Kyle. And then for ultimate characters, you'll have Ultimate Lepic and Ultimate Viessa. So everybody's favorite characters, I believe, were Ajax and Bunny. I've seen some people running around as Glay and I think Freyna. But we'll see how people play this time around. For the in-game support, we're going to get 40 plus modules, 50 mil in gold, and 4.5 million Coupier shards. There's going to be an encrypted vault, void fragments, and fusion reactor to check out, and Vulgus recon outpost with Kingston and Sterile Land as our fields. I believe these are fields that we have been familiar with throughout the previous playtest, so I don't think we're getting any new fields to look at from there. There is a new feature called Weapon Readjustment that's going to change weapon options for rare weapons and above to efficiently match the Descendant's preferences. It says Weapon Readjustment is available after achieving Mastery Rank 4 and can be conducted at the workbench in Albion and each zone camp. So if you look here, it's showing that bonus firearm attack versus Order of Truth, firearm attack, bonus firearm attack versus Legion of Immortality. So you get bonuses versus on the enemy type that you're going against, as far as like the attack power and hip fire accuracy, but it's going to be on rare and higher. This says Weapon Readjustment consumes readjustment materials called Adjustment Control Axes in gold for common to rare weapons, and Fine-Tuning Control Axes in gold for ultimate weapons. Additionally, when changing options, you can lock options that you do not want to change, but locking options will consume more materials. When performing weapon readjustment, the options and values that are applied probabilistically can be checked through the readjustment option on the left. So it looks like the things are just going to be random and not necessarily like a set bonus. I can't remember what it was called in World of Warcraft, where you could redo your gear and stuff. It's like the name is just blanking on me right now. But similar to that, if you played World of Warcraft back in like Cataclysm days, how you reforging, I think that's what it was called, something simple. We reforge your gear, same thing. But here's the readjustable options. As you can see, it just shows a range of percentage. You probably can't see that. Let me zoom in on the screen. So it shows a range here. For like example, firearm attack is like 0.7 to 3%. And then over here on the weapon options, you can lock options of what you're going to end up getting. 1.5% bonus firearm attack, or you can just go for the roll and try to re-roll it. So weak point damage, you can get this, you can get that. So that's how that works. You have an example of the cost, and it says 1,000 gold, and then one of these readjustment materials to do it. So just like one. So there's going to be some grinding on there, some more stuff to grind for. Void fragments are a newly added field content placed through each zone. Each void fragment has an attribute indicated, and they can only be destroyed using descendant skills that match their attribute. Firearm attacks do not deal any damage. If a void fragment is already being engaged by another descendant, you can join the quest by entering the area around the void fragment. However, if you do not use a descendant with a matching attribute, you will only receive the basic reward and not the conditional rewards. While progressing with void fragments, you can obtain various types of void shards, which can be used in the void fusion reactor. The rewards and attribute information for a void fragment in each region can be checked by going to world map, selecting the desired zone, hovering over the void fragment icon. So you're not going to be stuck in the world and seeing the void fragment go off with the wrong character. You'll be able to check ahead of time and see if that's something that you can do with the wayfinder, with the descendant that you have. And if you can, you can. If you don't, you can just change over if you can, and if not, you can just wait for another one to pop up. But it says, example, void fragment marked as non-attribute can only be attacked using non-attribute descendant skills. So like, I think like Bunny has the lightning stuff, but then she also has something that doesn't have an attribute to it, like a fireball or something. I can't remember. It's been a while. Void Fusion Reactor. The Void Fusion Reactor, newly added field content along with the Void Fragment, is placed throughout each zone. Each Void Fusion Reactor indicates the type and quantity of Void Shards needed, and you can summon monsters by meeting these requirements. When defeating the summoned monsters, if you possess all the required Void Shards, you will also receive additional rewards, and the Void Shards will be automatically consumed. Descendants who do not possess Void Shards can still help defeat the monsters near the Void Fusion Reactor to receive basic rewards. So even if you don't have what you need, you can still get some basic junk that you don't need. The rewards and required types and quantities of fragments for each Void Fusion Reactor can be checked by going to World Map, select the desired zone, and hovering over the Void Fusion Reactor icon. So it shows you here how many shards there are required, how many organic Void Shards required, and then what your rewards are: 6,000 gold, XP, solenoids, focus on toxic, stuff like that. All right, so it says during the test period, we'll have various events and ways for you, our descendants, to give feedback, make suggestions, and report bugs. We'll provide more details in a separate announcement. And that is all the information we have right now for the update coming with First Descendant. As we have more information, I will be going more into the game again. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button for this video for the algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, peace.